news. Skinner's topic is so heavy. He only got one subject today. Lay it on his brother.
I do have one subject, and it's a whirlwind. Our friend, the governor from Florida,
our best friend,
Mr. Ron DeSantis, he just likes to be in the news. Let me tell you. But I tell you what, some of the things that this man stands for that has been a long time coming, and me personally would like to see more governors take notice of what Mr. DeSantis has been doing in Florida. He signed a bill Tuesday, and here's where we go. Banning transgender girls and women from playing in female sports. His quote, and it's quote, in Florida, girls are going to play girl sports, boys are going to play boy sports, unquote. It's heavy. It's a hot topic in today's world, especially with this being Pride Month.
Your phone's ringing now.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I understand it's Pride Month in June, so I thought it was a great story to get your guys' opinions on it. Mine personally, and I had a conversation about it with Marcy prior to, because she's usually my good storyteller, but she didn't have any this week. Hi, Marcy.
I'll throw her the bus.
But you can't take fact that there is the male body at birth, the female body at birth. The muscular, and I don't know how else to put it in a scientific medical term, the male body is so much more superior when it comes to athleticism. What's the word I'm looking for? Muscular tone, strength, conditioning, all that stuff. The male body just doesn't, or the female body doesn't compare to the male when it comes to that particular thing. There was a story where there was a 6'8" basketball player that had a wig on. She said that she was a girl playing in sports with a bunch of ladies that were no more than 5'8" to 6'1". I mean, and you could tell the big muscular individual. I won't say man or woman, but unfair advantage, in my opinion, when it comes to athletics and sports.
Right.
That's where my opinion is. What you do off the court, away from the field, if you're a transgender woman, a transgender man, that is your thing. That's your right. But when it comes to athletics and things of that nature, I fully support Mr. DeSantis and what he's done, and he's now the 9th state. I said 11 earlier when we were talking the stories. They're the 9th state to ban this. So I'm looking for more states to be doing this. I know it's a heavy topic. I know it's going to be something that's going to be debated for a long time coming, but I like the direction, my opinion. Like I said, you want to be a man, you want to be a woman, that is your thing, off the field, off the courts.
All right.
What do you guys think?
Fish?
Well, from a competitive perspective, I do tend to agree. Right.
And I think that's where we should keep it at, from a competitive perspective.
Yeah, because certainly you like you say we're not here trying to argue that if someone feels within them that they're the opposite sex and they want to change that or live that way, that's certainly fine, and we're not judging any of that, of course.
But not at all.
Yeah, it is a kind of an interesting thing to where. I get if you're a man and you want to live as a woman, you want to compete in sports and all of that. So I don't know where you really find your way, where it's comfortable for you. You probably don't feel comfortable playing with guys, but at the same token, do you have a significant athletic advantage over women? I don't know. I don't know how much fun that might be. I'm not sure. There are certainly, men that's living as women, for example, that aren't huge, muscular. They have a similar build as a woman, certainly. So, but you can't certainly make those type of lines, No. So, like I said, from a competitive perspective, I do tend to agree, but I don't like how he phrased it. He certainly could have phrased it differently. Because they don't feel like boys or girls. They don't feel like the sex that they were born. So, and he was, that's a very insensitive remark in my opinion. But other than that, I kind of agree with the rule.
Okay.
So Keith, what do you got?
Well, first of all, you were talking about the basketball player. Reminds me of a movie. If you guys haven't seen Jawada Man, one of the funniest movies. Tommy Davidson is hysterical in this movie. It's a story like that. So anyway, first I want to do something a little different. I want to take the defense of the side of the transgender individual. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I felt one way and thought one way until I discovered I had a friend who was transgender. And sitting and talking with her and hearing her story, it was the most unbelievable story I had ever heard. I think I cried halfway through it of what she had been through, and hearing the suffering, the confusion, the hatred she had to endure. I really got it after that. Mm-hmm. Not saying that's everybody's story, but I got it with her. Mm-hmm. So I want to say I understand for that individual, it leaves them nowhere. I get it. I understand that. You want to participate in sports, it leaves you nowhere. And I understand. But if I could quote Mr. Spock, the needs of the few cannot outweigh the needs of the many. You cannot tell me, listen, you can change your name to Bugs. That don't make you a bunny. Okay? And you hinted on it talking about DNA, nature. I'm sorry. You cannot tell me that those things that define you as, let's say, a male, and now you are identified as a woman, is fair to that girl who has practiced her entire life to achieve in that particular sport. And then they run up against you, and it's no contest. You want to talk about your rights, think about the rights of those people. And I get it. It leaves you in a nowhere spot. We've got to figure something out. I know it. And it's so controversial. Nobody has all the answers. But good for the governor at least taking a stance, because all those young girls, we'll talk about the girl side, who are being put in this position where they cannot compete. They've dedicated their life to this particular sport, and they get a situation where there's just no way you can compete. Mm-hmm. It's not right. So I'm really glad to hear somebody take a stand on it. It's not popular.
No.
And good for DeSantis.
And there's no right answer right now. There's no correct answer at this point in time.
Well, his answer is correct in my opinion, but I'm saying it's got to be made with the heart, with understanding for those transgender individuals. Right. It can't be, no. Come on, let's not be like that.
Like I said, if you're a male and you see yourself as a female, that is your thing, and you be you. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to competition, especially in high school athletics, and I think this is what it was geared to more than anything, and you're right, a bit insensitive in how he put it, but if anybody knows Mr. DeSantis, he's a straight shooter from the belt. I mean, he don't cut no punches. This is how it's going to be in my state, and I don't care who you are. And it's refreshing to see this from a politician of all the years that we've been adults now for 30 plus years, seeing all these politicians go for so long.
I've been an adult for 2 years, but go ahead.
So to see somebody that's got the guts to stand out.
Yeah, it's rare.
It's rare and it's refreshing, but at the same time, I want to look out for those that are being affected on both sides of the fence.
And women have caught up to men in so many different categories right now. It's not even funny. As you guys know, I'm a musician. I'm a drummer. Mm-hmm. I just had this talk the other day. I said, if one more person sends me a video talking about a girl drummer, I'm going to go off on them. What the heck's a girl drummer? I don't know what a girl drummer is. I know some drummers that happen to be girls, but just call them a girl drummer. It's like you're not expecting much from them. So I know some girls that will smoke me and that person on the drums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, don't use that 80s terminology with me, girl drummer, anymore, okay?
The one in music today, that I don't want to call her name, but the skillet drummer. She is absolutely
Oh man, I could go on and on and on. There's several I follow on YouTube that are just like, wow.
But I mean, that's one come to mind. I've seen her live, and she's absolutely phenomenal. You wouldn't know she was a girl unless you looked back there on the kit. So,
powerful subject. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. Come back with us.
I will.
With what's going on, because this is not the end of this
No, this is just the beginning
Yeah.
of this story, and this is just the beginning throughout the country.
But a stand had to be made. We've got to make a definitive stand, not wade in the water. The lines are so blurred. We have to make a definitive stand.
Right.
And good for him. So I'm with the mayor on that. Show a little more heart and understanding for the transgender
Right.
People. But, yep. All right.